Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny.
Should be having D-Lana and Mark Dalgetti. And the other guest is going to be no other one than Sally Bambara. Oh, doing something with networking. You want to be on it? The networking group as a business growth tool. So if you're listening to us from wherever across the globe, you want to know how you can use networking to grow your business, now you have to be on this program this afternoon. Comes to where Rich.
Okay, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's past the top of the hour, and that means that I've got the one and only. Yes, no, the reigning champion. Someone say, is he a boxer? No, he's a fighter. They call him the White Lion. No other person but Mr. Olayomi Koiki Kojo joining this morning. And let's go to him straight in our North London studios and say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning back to you in the studio, Mr. Archie, and I hope the line is much better because we've been able to slightly upgrade the system here in the studio in terms of the connectivity, and we hope that should be much better from what we've been experiencing in the last couple of months. I say good morning to you, and let's welcome all our listeners once again to Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and 6 minutes past the hour, we're going to be giving you all the headlines, the update coming out of Nigeria as usual this morning, and I'll slightly come back again to you in the studio.
Yes, how are you doing, sir, and how is the family?
Well, the family are doing very well. The little one is literally downstairs, getting ready for school, which is something that we always talked about when you look at the ASU strike, and then you want to compare most of the diaspora children here in UK, whether from Ghana, Uganda, the kind of facilities that they have as compared to so many African children that are probably out of school. As we speak today, the family are doing very well, but like I said, more than 13 million Nigerian students are currently out of school, and also the university ASU strike doesn't seem to be going nowhere because there's still a loggerhead between the federal government and ASU itself.
Well, listen, it's Mr. Olayomi Koiki Kojo in North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. It comes your way every weekday. Okay. 11 o'clock. And then come Wednesdays, 18 hours UK time. Let me put it that way. I will bring in you Niger voices. And I tell you, that's a platform where if you missed out during the course of the week in sharing whatever you want to share or saying whatever you want to say, that's a platform or a program that you don't want to miss at all. If you have missed it in the past, you are being advised that this time around, don't miss it, and definitely to be coming your way tomorrow. But now it is time for us to look at some of the stories making the rounds from Nigeria. But before we move on that one, now how has the travels been in North London? How has it been so far?
Well, it's been I've not literally been out this morning, but I will be within the next half an hour when I'll be dropping the little one, on the school run. But as we know, when it comes to traveling here in UK, especially when they're on strike, it does have a big impact on the highway and also a big impact on the transportation. I mean, I've been following sharp grants. I think they're saying there might be some changes in the future to come. We'll have to wait and see. But if you while we traveled to Manchester over the weekend, the road network, about 2 million vehicles drive past on a daily basis, and already there were information on the billboard, which is again what we expect if a country like Africa is working. Information is very, very important. So maybe somebody that was planning to come to London over the during the week, and then they do not want them to get stuck in when there's the strike. So already the information, I was able to pick those information right on the motorway on Saturday on our way going, advising motorists that there will be a strike in London, and that also shows how powerful information is.
Well, how powerful information is. Afata Moshi, good morning, all. Welcome. White Lion, Yoruba Nation now is the only solution to save lives and heritage. We say good morning to you, Moses Alano. Good morning to you. Okay, Frank, Moses Alano said good morning to you. Frank is working behind the scenes. And then Levi Nati, as I said, good morning to you all. And as many of you who have joined us on the YouTube channel, and those of you on the Facebook as well, yeah, we say thank you very, very much. It is Starr Radio. Okay, now let's move on to the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Interestingly, that's the Chief Justice of Nigeria decided to travel out of the country. Now, there isn't anything wrong with him traveling out of the country, but whilst there is a rule that is put in place that look, the justices cannot travel out of the country, then he decided to take with him his family on the trip or a workshop that is going outside the country, and the justices are up in arms. Well, are we going to see a strike by the justices?
Well, yes, that you're quite right. I was looking at that headline. We've seen what we can call a very systematic in Nigeria, where one rules for one person and the other rules for others. Yes, you're quite right. The Chief Justice of Nigeria takes the wife, children abroad for what we can call workshop. We do know that some areas, some federal parastatals do go for what they call workshop or training. But if only particular set of people is allowed, then what about the rest of it? So this headline says Chief Justice of Nigeria Tanko takes his wife, children abroad for workshops, but blocks us from overseas training, according to the Supreme Court Justice. And this was put together in a letter by Mohammed earlier this month, that the Chief Justice demanded to know what had happened to their legitimate entitlement under Mr. Tanko. The Justice of the Apex Court in Nigeria said their annual foreign training meant to enhance capacity building for the country's judicial process had been blocked by Muhammad Tanko, that he himself is now also enjoying.
But Yomi, interestingly, if he is, paying for the trip, whatever the cost is, he is the one bearing it, and therefore it's not the judiciary that is paying for it or the state paying for it. What is wrong with it? I've decided to travel and I want to go with my family, but I can afford to pay for them. There isn't anything wrong with that, is it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just the same way, the president have been traveling to UK since 2015 when he came on board for medical treatment, and the argument has always been this is where he has received, most of his medical treatment before he became the president. But we do know that when he travels, he's not using his own personal finance because he's traveling, on the taxpayers' money, and that means that the presidential jet will be traveling with him, some envoys will be traveling with him. So that is no longer, while he was still on his own without being the president. Yeah, you're quite right. And again, in the past, the justices were nominated to attend 2 foreign workshops or training per annum with accompanying persons for reasons of age. Since your lordship assumption of office, justice only attend 2 workshops in Dubai and Zanzibar. They were not accorded the privilege of traveling with accompanying person as well as the practice stated in the memo. So it looks like most of the reason why these justices are not happy is because Chief Justice himself is taking the advantage. It's not his personal money, it is taxpayers' money, but the rest of the the judges are not having the same opportunity, and that is why they have complained. The justice added that your lordship totally ignored this demand, but yet is traveling with his wife, his children, and even his personal staff with demand to know what has become our training fund. Have they been diverted, or is it a plain denial?
Well, we hope to see. I mean, when the Chief Justice returns, or I think has he returned from that break at all? Do you know whether he returned from that break?
Well, I'm not sure whether he has returned or whether the ones that he has done, but again, we do know that this headline is coming out from Nigeria today, being the 21st of June, 2022.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, some other stories because we know we have speed up our updates. Yeah, a monthly breakdown showed that in December 2021, no fewer than 342 innocent Nigerians were killed, while 397 were abducted. Those killed in the month included 45 farmers. I mean, giving you a breakdown, and also 34 women were abducted in December. So it talks about the insecurity issue that is going on in Nigeria. I mean, where the government is saying, or some people in government are saying that look, if anybody pays for ransom for their family or loved ones to be released, they are going to be prosecuted. Meanwhile, we don't see government doing its best to make sure that people are protected, citizens are protected. And then people are asking themselves, do we arm ourselves now? Because if you don't want me to pay ransom, I might as well be armed so that I can defend myself. And in that case, there will be no need. It's like having your own house and you say, I'm not going to allow thieves to come and rob you. Now, what is government saying so far about the statistics that have been there?
Well, you're quite right. When it comes to the amount of innocent Nigerians that have been killed since 2015 or prior to that, it's quite a staggering amount in terms of the individuals. But the breakdown that you're discussing this morning is just on one particular location, and that means over 4,000 people, and that about 2,256 others were all adopted across the country just between December last year and June 15, which is just some few days ago. The figures that were obtained, by the Nigerian Security Tracker, a project of the Council of Foreign Relations, an American think tank, during the period under review. The data also captured, those killed by the non-state actors such as the terrorists, the bandits, the gunmen or the armed robbers, the cultists, and the security operatives. So quite a lot is also happening that we do know that a lot of individuals do not report it as well. Just less than 72 hours, there was a kidnap cases in Ogun State, and I had the opportunity to listen to a video clip yesterday where the individual had access to those that were kidnapped, and it also now seems that there is also some kind of a relationship between some of these terrorists and the police officer and the police system in Nigeria, and also some kind of other security network. And if that is true, that Nigerians are being kidnapped, but rather than getting the rescue that they deserve, nobody's going after those rescue apart from the the individual that have to pay the ransom. This individual paid almost close to £1,500. Rice was also delivered. And aqua was delivered, and cigarette was delivered as well. But like you said, in the last between December and this year, close to 4,000 Nigerians have been killed. But those are the ones that we know. But we also know that there's a lot that doesn't go into the record system as well.
Well, in a continent where we don't have proper records, keeping there, of course, I know that lots of lives might have been lost without the government having a view of what has happened. But it's not coming away from Starr. Okay, let's start on one other story, then I'll get the other. Now, the World Bank, in its latest report on Nigeria's development update, have argued that the country's protectionist trade policy is counterproductive. You remember that the Buhari regime decided to, block the borders, shut the borders, because they didn't, especially from the western part of the country, especially they didn't want rice to come from there, and say that if anybody imports rice to the country, they will be prosecuted. Stopping people from bringing rice from Togo and Benin. Now, the World Bank is now saying that it's counterproductive. Now, isn't that because of what is happening, the insecurity, therefore farmers are not able to go till the land, especially the rice farmers, and is that where the World Bank is coming from?
Protectionist, an advocate of the policy of shielding a country's domestic industries from foreign competition by taxing import. For those, just to get the breakdown first. You're quite right. The World Bank report made some bold and unequivocal assertion. One, the country's trade policy since Muhammadu Buhari administration in 2015 has been remarkably moving further in a protectionist direction and yielding several unattended consequences, including high level of tariff evasion, accounting for the loss of more than $1.8 billion annually in the public revenue. This is an estimate of about 0.4%. The report also asserted that the country's increased trade protectionist stance is constraining the efficiency and competitiveness of its domestic firms. We do know that most of the produce that is used in Nigeria is imported, even up to the crude oil that has to be taken out and then refined, brought back to the country. The third assertion made in the report is that import restrictions are pushing millions of Nigerians into poverty, as the discretionary trade policy can decrease overall purchasing power, in turn increase poverty. If you are not producing and you have to bring everything that you're using, it's gonna have a strain on the country, when it comes to job creation, opportunities for millions of Nigerians. And that is why, as of today, over 100 million Nigerians are in the bracket of the abject poverty. The report further asserted that Nigerians' restrictive and unpredictable trade policies are increasing smuggling, which led to what the government says the reason why they have to shut down, the southwest borderline to Benin Republic for the last 2 years. We do not know the reason why they have to unlift that, but there is information that says that election is coming, and that means they are looking for the voters, for the vote from those in the southwest. While the border was shut between Nigeria and Benin Republic, the borderline was open in Castina, it was open in KANU, and there was all not just smuggling of goods, there were also smuggling of so many individuals coming into the country. And I was actually watching a video that was sent to me this morning, and if time permit, let us listen to that. About 400 unknown individuals traveling at about 3 o'clock in the morning with about 31 coastal buses, they were apprehended. Let's hear what they have to tell us.
The army has arrested over 400 suspected Boko Haram members in Abia State, southeast Nigeria. They were apprehended along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway by soldiers attached to the 144 Battalion in Ukwa West local government area. The suspects, including 8 women, were traveling in 35 buses, 2 of which escaped with their occupants. The arrest is coming after security operatives disabled an improvised explosive device planted on the premises of a church in Imo State.
So that's about 400, Boko Haram terrorists driving through in the middle of the night, and that is part of where a lot of Nigerians are concerned that if the border was closed because of the smuggling of foodstuff from Benin Republic into Nigeria, rather than closing the same border in the north, insurgency and terrorists traveling into the country has been allowed. And this video that we just played earlier, let's just finish the remaining part of it.
Some of them are between the ages of some 16 years, between 16 and 25, 30, some much less. And among them, they have 6 women, between the age, 8 women, between the ages of 16 and 24. Now look at these young men. 486.
So 486 able men moving into where? Looking for what? Nobody knows. This is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I come back again to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, quite interesting issue going there. And I talk about the fact that now looking at these kids, I mean, I call them kids, 16 years. What do they actually know? But this is a situation where you are looking at the government putting measures in place, stopping people from, I mean, if the borders were open and people were importing the right in there, having high tariffs, at least people would have paid the taxes on it. But we see that that's not what is happening. And the effect, the potential effect of whatever is happening hitting the country itself and citizens as a whole. I mean, something, but looking at the fact that schools and universities are supposed to be in operation. However, for how many years now, how many months now, they've been, I mean, shut down.
If I just take about 30 seconds off.
Okay. Just bear with us while we have Olayomi Koiki. Yes, you sorting something out in the background at the moment. But look at all these stories. Then ask yourself, do we have any hope? Do we have any hope for Nigeria at all? Or as some have been clamoring for, that the only way forward is just breaking away or breaking the country into various groupings, okay? And then that would be the way forward for us. Well, I was having a chat with someone and the person was saying that, well, when you go into a relationship or marriage, and I was like listening to the person very critically, and it doesn't work, what do you do? Go your separate ways. If not, you're going to get to a point where someone might kill someone, or someone might lose their life or their sanity. So what do we do? If in a relationship you feel that people are being abused in a relationship, they are being marginalized or being brought upon, then what do you do? But I say that, well, when it comes to nationhood, I mean, we all have to strive to make everything better for ourselves. But if it's not working, what do we do? It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm from Olayomi Koiki, bringing you updates from Nigeria. So let me leave it to bring you all the other stories taking around. Over to you, John.
Thank you very much, Mr. Archie. Once again, a very good afternoon, good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. And let's take you through some of the other headlines. Just in, kidnappers have released a former Nigerian Football Federation Secretary, ex-Eagles assistant coach. Just as we say all the time, so much, kidnapping going on in the country, and most time they are recorded, and most time they are not recorded. Kidnappers have released a former secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation, Alhaji Sani Toro, a former assistant coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, Garba Yila, and one of their friends, Alhaji Issa Jah, from captivity. According to report, their friends were both kidnapped at a village around Agwanga in Nasarawa State at about 5 p.m. on Saturday after attending the wedding of the son of a former NFF president, Aminu Magari, and were kidnapped at about 7:30 p.m. A family source told the correspondent that on Sunday that the kidnappers had contacted their host, Magara, and demanded a sum of 150 million naira before releasing them. But what we do know, however, they were said to have regained freedom at about 5 a.m. this morning. This is after spending over 60 hours in captivity. It was unclear, how much was paid, and I'm definitely sure money was paid before their release. Again, the insecurity in the country is not just spreading in this particular location; it's spreading across almost every part of the country. Also, there's going to be a strike, just as we're having it here in UK, but in the other way around in Nigeria. OAU, Obafemi Awolowo Teaching Hospital doctors have now embarked on a 2-day warning strike. According to what we know, according to the Association of the Resident Doctors at Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, Ile-Ife, southwest of Nigeria, on Tuesday, embarked on a 2-day warning strike over an alleged assault on one of them by a nurse. The resident doctors said the strike will commence this morning from 8 a.m. up to Thursday rather, at exactly 8 a.m. The doctors made their decision known to the press release, cited and signed by the association president, Dr. Nana Foyewole, the general secretary, Dr. Anthony, and the public relations officer, Dr. Adelaja Olasubomi. Vote buying, probe Adeleke Oyetola teams urged the EFCC. We know there's a lot of vote buying that took place, in the Ekiti election that was just gone through. As Osun State election is also coming, there's also a lot of campaign, but likewise a lot of also individuals asking that the EFCC should go after those that are trying to sell votes and also those that are buying vote as well. According to what we know, the EFCC should invite Adeleke, having clearly stated an intention to commit an offense of inducement of voters, which was an electoral offense under the Nigerian law. Let's go straight to more other headline, and then I'll come back again to you in the studio. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bus driver kills and dumps a colleagues and cops at the Lagos Park. Remember that there's still not justice yet for Banishe that was killed and molested, and the body was dumped in somewhere in Lagos State after boarding that vehicle. But it doesn't seem Lagos is still getting a good one as we go into this headline. Bus driver kills, dumps colleagues and cops at the Lagos Park. There was operation in Baga area of Lagos State yesterday after a lifeless body of a bus driver was found near a motor park. The disease, identified only as Wasiu, was alleged to have been dumped close to the entrance of the park around midnight. That the late driver who plowed the Ishaga-Fagba route had a confrontation with a colleague from another park on Sunday, which resulted in a fight between them. An eyewitness who spoke said Wasiu picked up a fight with someone at the park, went to pick a bottle, but when he smashed it on the ground, the bottle piece hit the baby on a nearby alcohol cellar. The little child started bleeding, and that led to more confrontation. We hope the security will do the needful to apprehend those involved as well. I'm going to take two more. Come back again to you in the studio before we come back to look at the social media. Nigeria airline and others to lose $700 million in 2022, according to IATA. The International Air Transport Association has said the Nigerian airline and others across Africa will lose about $700 million in 2022 due to combination of the Russia-Ukraine war and the COVID-19. This was disclosed at the ongoing 78th ITA Annual General Meeting and World Air Transport Summit in Doha in Qatar. And then we take one more. Again, 86 billion given to state health center and others, according to the federal government. Let's start selling petrol at 180 naira per liter and above. Ignore the official rate of 165 naira per liter. We do know that there's a lot of pressure with the scarcity of the petroleum this morning and across most parts in the city, Lagos, and already going into Abuja. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria on Monday asked marketers across the country to begin dispensing petrol at 180 naira per litre. That means more pressure on average Nigerians. As we do know, small-scale businesses need that to operate, whether it's a barber or a mechanic or just a small hotel. Most of them rely on diesel and petrol to run the business, and that means for every price increment, it also add up to the members of the public. I'll come back to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, wonderful stories coming from Nigeria. I tell you all the time. And as we say on this platform, in Nigeria never happened to you. What do you think? Well, let's say good morning once again to Anthony and Deneki, KANU, Abiodun, and Walex Salam. Walex Salam, good morning to you all. Thank you very, very much for joining us as well. Let me acknowledge those who have joined us on the YouTube as well. Prince Abimbola was today. Yes, good morning to you as well. And speaking of you who have joined us there, okay, yes, continue to stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We appreciate you because we know that Mr. Live will be hard to make around. Okay, now, pertaining to the 2023 elections, what has been the other political parties, the smaller ones, or the independence party? I'm talking about something like Showore and all the other groups there. What are they doing so far? What do you see them doing?
Well, so far, they're pushing more effort when it comes to their appearance on the social media, especially those that believe that Peter Obi should be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So quite a lot of campaign on the social media for Peter Obi. He's just come back from Egypt on a couple of few trip down to Egypt. Showore is still pushing, just as a lot of people are saying maybe there should be what they can call the third force. All these smaller parties coming together. I'm just looking at 17 hours ago. Showore, Nigerians, you have got one life to live. It didn't have to be this hard. You have come to eat without sugarcoating it. Your life could be better. We have never partaken in stealing your resources, never partook in deception, never stood in four corners at the same time. So it's literally still campaigning to millions of the Nigerians, to look the other way around from above the APC and the PDP and then come towards, the AAC. So again, that is the message from Omo Yele Showore some 17 hours ago. Also in Ekiti, APC monetized the gubernatorial election to the point that those that stayed away from their election, playing street soccer, probably felt they are the only ones who took the right decision. It is a shame. So as you can tell, the turnout was very low, during that election in Ekiti on Saturday. But a lot of Nigerians, when you go to those that are supporting, somebody like Peter Obi, there might be some match, which I believe would happen between Peter Obi and NNPP, but we will have to wait and see how that merger is going to happen. But, for those that are following Peter Obi, let me just give you, some of what they are saying. According to a very strong, staunch supporter of Peter Obi on the social media, known as Neferati at First Ladyship, Peter Obi flies economy all the time. He flew economy to Egypt, where he went to see how Nigeria can be better. He returned back on economy ticket. Guess what happened? Ordinary Nigerians stormed the airport to receive him. He did not stop commence of flow of traffic. And the reason why she's responding to that was we've seen videos of Bola Tinubu, the presidential aspirant for the APC, had to completely shut down Lagos for 3 hours, where individuals could not move at all. And that means that a lot of Nigerians have been asking the question, this is somebody that have not become the president, but he's been able to shut down the system. We're still on the social media because I'm going to take it all together. I'm looking at Ifa Funshaw graphics. High price of food, high price of fuel, high price of diesel, high price of electricity, high price of house rent, high price of water, high price of transport, high unemployment, no job, no security. ASU is on strike. Yoruba nation must stand in my time. Nigeria is worse than hellfire. So I'm going to take one more and then come back again. Let's look at, what are the Biafra saying? We know that NNAMDI KANU is still, being held in the captivity of the DSS. A lot of people are saying that it seems, some of the Biafrans are already, relenting. Some are still pushing, for the, the self-determination. So let's take a look at what people have been talking about when it comes to Biafra. According to Nelson Spendy, have you seen hashtag Peter Obi condemning atrocity of massacring and discrediting Biafra land in my Nigerian foot soldiers? Yesterday, Peter Obi vehemently said that IPOB is ostracized in menacing going on in Biafra without making an investigation. Also, the mouthpiece at real_Amaka, we are not going back on hashtag Biafra. Why some believe in Nigeria politics? Our only hope is hang on total freedom of Biafra. But that doesn't mean we should be against whoever that believes. Otherwise, they will surely come when they reach the end of the zoo dark tunnel. So you can see that, the current situation in Nigeria is not just about those that still believe in Nigeria. It's also those about still want a total disintegration out of Nigeria. But all these, we will have to know in how many days from now. Let's look at the Starr Radio UK time check when it comes to whether an election will go ahead in 2023 or there will be a total declaration or a breakup of Nigeria, before 2023. As today, 234 days, 13 hours, 20 minutes, and the second state going down, that would determine, the future of Nigeria. This morning, after a marathon 3 days prayer from the Yoruba self-determination group that put that together, I was able to listen to Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho at about 6 o'clock this morning. He joined the Zoom prayer, and also the leader of the Yoruba self-determination, Professor Banji Akintoye, also joined at about 6 o'clock in the morning to close the remark of that prayer, because the Yoruba believe that prayer would also be part of the fight for the self-determination as they continue their campaign for the actualization of the Yoruba nation.
Let me say, kudos to them for joining. The momentum is there. But as whether the momentum in the southeast is dying down is another question that we want to see. Maybe it will be they're trying to wrestle his way to the flag bearership of this party, or maybe becoming the next president who will solve the problem of the country. Who knows? But well, from Polara, yes, from Polara, says they have been selling it 200 naira. He's talking about the fuel. No hope in this country at all. And Samuel Tayo, good morning to you. He said, God bless you, sir, for the work you are doing. Now, while it says that as big as Nigeria, the youth are still thinking one person, which is a lie. Now, Samuel says that Yoruba nation now. And what I say, as big as Nigeria, okay, the youth still believe the country called Nigeria can change by one person, which is a lie. Okay, so to clarify that, referring to Peter Obi. Now, he's of the view that even if Peter Obi there, that will not resolve the situation for Nigeria. But I mean, there's a quick one from your side. Do you think Peter Obi can make a difference? I mean,
well, looking at the argument on the table, from the perspective of whether he performed very well, while he was the governor of Anambra State. There's a lot of disagreement. I was actually listening to Soludo. Soludo is the current governor as well, and he was literally responding to some of what Peter Obi has been discussing lately when it comes to his achievement in Nigeria of today. And the question is, you asked is can Peter Obi make a change? The question is, can he make a change on the 1999 military decree that a lot of Nigerians have argued that it is not really, working, to that extent. When you also look at the way Nigeria is structured, we know that there is more, when you look at Lagos as an example, Lagos has 22 local government as against KANU that has 44. And, the question is the numbers of senators in the current Senate and the way the country has been structured, they are more than the ones in the southeast and the southwest, and that goes under the House of Reps. So if anybody's saying that Peter Obi will make a change, the question is they will be told to go into the Senate to get that change done. And that means the numbers of those on the seats are much more compared to the ones that we have. Maybe tomorrow I'll be able to give us a quick breakdown of the total number of how many senators do we have from the north as against the southeast and the southwest. And the same goes into the House of Rep. And then the clearer picture to some of our listeners that are not from Nigeria will be able to understand that you will not be able to change anything with the current system the way it has been structured. And that is why, the social cultural group like the Anfenifere, the Ohanese have said that we must bring down that constitution. And just like so many people have said, is one of the most fraudulent documents of the history of our time.
But somebody's just saying that person is asking that last week when we interviewed Chief Mrs. Abiola, now she did talk about she mentioned referendum. Now, do you think that referendum will do that? Because we are looking at the constitution where it came until the constitution is changed, and look at the representation from the north and the south. You know that the south are not actually don't have the number outweight the north. So if it becomes, let's say, let's have a new referendum for it to go to the Senate for it to be passed into law, it's going to be a challenging thing. So do you think referendum, that meant of a referendum to the Yoruba people and maybe to those in the southeast will resolve the problem with that?
Well, the argument, from somebody like Mrs. Modupeola Onitiri Abiola is that a referendum is not going to take place, and it's not about the referendum. If we are having a country where we are much more civilized, then you can push in a referendum. But the way again Nigeria is, there's no way a referendum could be the best option. And yes, there's still some part of people that believe in the Yoruba nation that believe that a referendum is the best push to get the Yoruba people out of Nigeria. The Biafra are still clamoring for a referendum. But what Chief Mrs. Onitiri Abiola and Professor Banji Akintoye are saying is, with the 5 million petition and that argument alone that the Yoruba is a kingdom before the British amalgamation, and what we are asking for from the 110 countries that have been approached is not anything more than a recognition that this is a country of its own prior to the 1914 amalgamation. Yes, there's a lot of people that are worried that this might lead to a kind of, proportion, maybe like a war, which a lot of people are much more concerned. And that is why people are saying that why not allow a referendum from the United Nations? And the argument again is United Nations gives country. No, United Nations just expect you to have 5 countries to support you, and that will be more than enough, to get you going.
But as Nigeria or the Yoruba have got 5 countries that support you, have got that number?
Well, with the 110 countries that have been approached, definitely as it stands right now, these countries are not coming out to speak, because we've got to remember they still have relationship with Nigeria. But I was able to speak to the deputy of the Ilana Omodua group yesterday afternoon, and I can guarantee that 3 countries that we cannot name has already given a full backing, but we can't name those countries yet.
Okay, we see what happens. Maybe during the course of this, we'll know the others that are going to give that good support to the Yoruba nation. Okay, before we go, listeners, we apologize because we know that lots of people want us to ask lots of questions and discuss lots of things, but no promise tomorrow we're looking at. And then at 18 hours tomorrow, there's going to be Niger Court as well, which can go into details of all the questions that you might have. Okay, tell me before we go.
Well, the only place to be Monday to Friday is the morning show. Archie, myself, and Frank, and the rest of the team. I'll be back again same time tomorrow. But don't go anywhere, because Archie will take you through the rest of the segment. I'll be back again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock. From this side of the globe, I say very good morning, good afternoon, and bye for now.
Yes, thank you very much, Johnny. All right, then, listeners, that was Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates.
All right, it might be no time to go now, as usual. Lot to do as usual. And it's been on you. We have to go now. There's a lot. IGBOHO Yoruba and Ishila song. So we keep the push. I might try and come out later on, maybe today if time permits. But for now, as usual, it's my way. Tásìkò bá ti tó báyìí, ọmọ Oòduà ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sí school. So that means I've got to go, take him to school as usual. But be rest assured that I'll be back. Definitely,
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand.
Right,
God
so
is
I'm
powerful.
gonna go out. Have a very good afternoon. Bye for now. I'm sure we'll catch up very soon. There's a lot to discuss, but all that maybe today. We have to back by to drop on Oòduà. We have our session. We'll see how it goes. I just drop on Oòduà in school now. We love you from this platform. Mr. Kende, gbogbo time tá bá ń ṣe program lẹ́yìn máa ń pè sọ fún yín pé kẹ́yìn máa pè tó bá ń pè wá ní 11 o'clock help situation, so anybody not calling at 11 o'clock time tá máa ń lọ sí studio nìyẹn, so ẹ bá dẹ̀ ń pè ó ń disturb broadcast. Bye for now everybody, we love you all, bye.